Previously, life had already transformed the ancient oceans into thriving ecosystems full of extraordinary creatures. Animals had learned to hunt, defend themselves, and compete in an ever-changing underwater world.
The oceans had become the center of life, but evolution was preparing an entirely new challenge. If the oceans were full of life, why did no organisms live on land? Because the land was an unforgiving world of scorching sunlight, bare rock, and relentless ultraviolet radiation.
Without water to support or protect them, most marine life would quickly perish on land.
Yet evolution never stops asking impossible questions. Nearly 500 million years ago, the first pioneers began testing this hostile frontier.
Surprisingly, those pioneers were not animals, but simple early plants. They had no wood, no flowers, and no seeds. Yet they achieved something extraordinary. For the first time, living organisms successfully anchored themselves to the land.
That single achievement marked the true beginning of life on Earth's continents. These early plants trapped water, slowed erosion, and gradually enriched the barren ground. Over millions of years, the very first soils began forming from their remains.
A world once covered only by stone was slowly becoming capable of supporting far more life. But plants would not remain alone. Another group of pioneers was already preparing to follow. The next explorers were neither dinosaurs nor fish, but small creatures with many legs.
Their arrival opened an entirely new chapter in Earth's history. The conquest of the land had begun.
The first animals to follow plants onto land were ancient arthropods, the earliest pioneers of a new world. They were distant relatives of today's insects, spiders, and scorpions. Their protective exoskeleton reduced water loss and shielded them from the harsh environment.
Land was no longer empty. Life had begun spreading across an entirely new frontier. Over tens of millions of years, fishes evolved into an astonishing variety of forms. Some developed stronger skeletons, while others evolved thick, muscular fins. These remarkable animals are now known as the lobe-finned fishes.
At first, those fins simply helped them crawl through shallow water and brace against soft mud. Over countless generations, those fins gradually became stronger and more flexible.
Little by little, they began to resemble the earliest legs. This was never evolution's plan. It was simply the result of natural selection.
Individuals better suited to survive passed their advantages to future generations.
Then one extraordinary day, a curious creature raised its head above the water. It breathed the open air and gazed upon an entirely new world.
There were no giant predators, little competition, and endless ecological opportunities. Fossil evidence reveals that the earliest four-limbed vertebrates gradually began to appear. They could not yet live entirely on land, but they proved that leaving the ocean was possible. It was one of the greatest turning points in the history of life on Earth.
For the first time in more than 3 billion years, the ocean was no longer evolution's only stage.
Vast forests, giant insects, and the first reptiles would soon transform the continents forever. And eventually, one extraordinary group would dominate the planet. Their story is only just beginning.